daily dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfuckers.
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
By the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Machine. I am Brandon. Matt will be here. He's just running a little bit late. He had a few things to do, so he'll be here shortly. How's everybody doing? You know, the normal question I ask every single week. How y'all doing? It's been up and down pretty bad this week on my end, but we're not going to get too much into that. That's not what we're here for. So we got quite a few things we need to get through. We got a lot of audio bites and stuff like that. We're going to have some fun. I even reposted a couple of the old, just like on, I guess on Facebook or whatever else like that, you can do your memories. You can do that on TikTok as well. So one of my old videos came up, and as soon as I posted it, a guy's like, "Why are you not making videos anymore? You're a blast." I'm like, I haven't had time. I do other things, and to be honest with you, it's a hobby. It's not like I'm trying to do it for money, for a living. So I don't need to produce content at all times unless I feel like it. So Sherman's going to a concert. That's awesome. I was going to go to one a while back, and then I just didn't go because I've been busy. And yeah, it's been fun. But seriously, how's everybody doing? And I don't know what's triggered my allergies, but I even used allergy spray and it ain't working. And yes, I'm stalling until Matt gets here. I don't want to start the show and then Matt show up and be like, "Sorry, dude, we're halfway through something and you have no idea what it is." And that's the reason why I look like powder. I had the light up really high. Seriously, have you guys seen the movie Powder? That's what it looked like. Well, Sherman says it's going fine. What about everybody else? I mean, come on, there's a bunch of people in here. Stay out of safe and trouble. We're talking about Sherman. I'm not sure about that. Matt. I am, but I'm not. But like I said, so we're not going to get too much into that. Anyhow, let's see. And who else is hiding in the background there? Christina's in there. Hi, Christina. Michael, nice to see you. Josh, how you doing? Oh, Vespertine has made it. Hey, it's good to see you. Major slushy out here. Yeah, it's turned into liquid shit here. But for the last few days, actually, it's been just miserable cold. And unfortunately, yours truly had to be out in it during. Yes, I don't want to talk about it. I was freezing. Okay, I even had my cold weather gear and my hunting gear on. And the problem is I had, the bib overalls that came from here down, and I just had my coat over it along with, some other layers. And my legs and everything were great. My feet, they became cinder blocks in about 3 minutes. I couldn't feel my hands, but work had to be done. Absolutely had to be done. It was imperative that it got done. -5 Celsius. Yeah, it was much colder here. Hey, Brian, this coming from the guy that had the Village People album. Remember, I know who you are. Well, while we're waiting on Matt, let's go through our playlist or our audio list here tonight and see what kind of fucker we want to get to first. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. That's gonna be real fun. Yeah, we got quite a few. Christina, I don't. The equivalent in Fahrenheit, and I never know. Oh. I bet it's been much colder in California. Yeah, it's definitely been cold as shit. It's been, Josh, what did we have the other day? And Brian, what did we have? What, -11? It was in the single digits when I was outside having to work on a roof, but the wind was just terrible. We had an incident where where one of the fans had quit, and I had to go take care of it. Come on, Matt. I don't want to start nothing without him, because there's several things I think we're gonna have to start. I'm gonna go ahead and get something queued up while we're waiting on him, huh? All right, I know what we're going to go through first. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with this. It's only 53 seconds long, but man, it's worth it. Oh, God. Sorry, I really, my shoulder's all fucked up and I really hurt myself. Let's see here. Oh, wow, the numbers just dropped drastically because I'm not doing anything yet. Well, I'm trying to wait on Matt, guys, so I'm trying to have a conversation with you while we're waiting on Matt. The machine had the right costume. I do have an inflatable T-Rex. Yeah. But, I honestly, dude, damn, my numbers are dropping even more. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta wait for Matt. I'm trying to stall. I'm having a conversation with my people. Y'all will be back, I promise. Yeah. This is gonna be good. You know what? As much as I want to wait on Matt, I think we should probably get started, because everybody's gonna leave if we're not doing anything. I mean, I've just wasted what, like 8 minutes just talking about nothing. But how do you guys? I'm just going to ask you outright. How do you guys? Before we even get started with anything, how do you guys feel about this whole wokeism thing? I got to be honest with you. I got to know. Oh, Christina, the people demand spectacle, and when you're not giving it to them, they don't show up anymore. Jeremy, dude, I'm tore up from the floor up, brother. The shoulder's actually probably going to need surgery, but I've been avoiding it. But I had to carry something up a funky flight of stairs. I jammed my shoulder and just didn't tell anybody. Let's see. Man, I can't even cross my arms. Well, D-Man says go woke, go broke. Exactly. And that's part of the things that we're going to be talking about. There's some crazy shit that people are doing nowadays, which included the video that came in my on this day on TikTok, which is what it was about. It was basically about wokeism, about not all women, not all people that menstruate are women. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got to have the right equipment for it. Bread and circus. But they somehow see this as a good thing. They see wokeism as a good thing, and I respectfully disagree. And so do the majority of other people that I've ever spoken to. And I'm not talking about people that listen to the show or anything else like that. I'm talking about people on the left. They're like, no, this is not good. I'm sure you would, Brian. But you know, just the crazy shit that they come up with. They're like, well, yes, this wokeism is the greatest thing ever because it means we're awake and we're open to all these ideas. It's like, no, you're catering to mental illness and fucking up everything that is relatively normal for some sort of fad. Oh, look, hey, wait for it. I see people. He brought his munchies with him. Did you bring some for everybody else?
No, because I've only eaten once today.
Really? Mm-hmm. Hey, I brought my other hot sauce, but there's a secret behind it. It's ghost pepper, but it really didn't have a lot of heat to it, so I added a bunch of powder to it. It is fucking death fire now. Couple drops of that ought to wake you up. But while we're getting wokeism is totally absurd. If you don't know basic biology, you shouldn't be running anything critical. This is true. Wokeism is the end of logical and a choice to not use thought. Exactly. Pretty sure that their brains are as smooth as marbles. They might have one line or two, you know. But there's several people that I question. I'm pretty sure that most of them have to remind themselves to breathe. Yeah, I don't want to know. So, I mean, I guess before we get to playing that clip, because Matt just showed up, I will throw on some music real quick so he can munch. He's got 3 minutes like a fucking military. Get cracking, bitch. Yeah, let's go with this one. Yeah, I did. Yep, here it is. I did put it in the file. All right. Well, I'll be right back while I get him situated.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say?
I didn't stutter. I said,
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show.
And we're back. And hey, Matt, so how was the hot sauce that I had you try there?
It's really good. It's got some good flavor.
But you're dying over there, aren't
I'm
you?
almost getting hiccups from it because it's so hot.
Yeah. So the hot sauce was given to me for Christmas, and it does. I mean, by itself has a really great flavor, but I'm almost immune. So I got it. There was really not a lot of whole lot of heat to it for me. So I decided to take some of my pure powder that I personally made, and knowing myself, I put more than I probably should have in it, and I shook this bottle for about 4 miles in my hand because I drove around town and everything else like that, and it became hotter than Satan's asshole. But anyhow, we're gonna get right back to this. I'm gonna have to get the fuck. I accidentally, hold on a second. I almost pulled the headphones control box off the thing. But let's see here. We wanted this one first. Since we were talking about wokeism, that's the reason why I mentioned it. We got a 53-second clip that I think is important, and it's kind of how I see things. I'm sure it's how you guys see things, and it's how probably Matt sees things now that he has his glasses on.
That last little bite had some more on it.
Did it really?
Yeah, I'm like, woo.
He's dying. All right, so we got 53 seconds, but you want to go ahead and hit it?
Yeah.
Let's hit it.
The extremist end of woke radical leftism, and I speak as a former radical leftist, feels today like a death cult.
Feels today like a death cult. Can anybody argue with that?
No.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure it's on target with that.
Yeah, it's truthful, and I think it's irony that they say that everybody else is in a cult when they're the ones that are following in line lockstep with everything crazy. Not to mention the whole jabby jab thing and several other things where they fell in line and wanted to attack you if you didn't. So that's a cult.
Well, I'm actually done eating Sherman. It's just I'm waiting for Brandon if he's going to turn my camera on or not.
Oh, there's that.
That was tasty.
Damn, they missed all the funny when you took that last bite because the look on your face was holy shit. Well, Josh, if you want to see him so bad, there he is. You may now go flog it. All right, let's get back to the audio here.
It is fundamentally anti-human. Everything that is human and natural and healthy, they find a way to denounce it as being racist, colonial, patriarchal, or guilty of some other ism. It's like...
This is true. Or phobic.
Yeah.
Everything is a phobic. You're phobic this, you're phobic that. I'm like, no, I really don't fear any of that. Well, that's not what phobic means. Yes, actually, by literal definition, it is. No, we changed the definition. Well, don't give a fuck. That's not what it is. Your pseudo definition is not.
It annoys the living shit out of me when they change the definition. It's why the only reason why you're doing it is to suit your own needs. It's not how that works.
No. It's like when they change the definition of racism. Well, now it's no longer just being relatively shitty to a person of another color, regardless of who they are. Now it's got to be racism plus power, or prejudice plus power.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, who's the power? Well, white people. No, that's just because there's more white people doesn't mean that they're in power. That's a stupid fucking concept to even think about. Should we move right along?
Mm-hmm.
They hate life. It's an anti-life death cult, is how it seems. You can either be a moral absolutist or you can be a moral relativist. And once you've chosen the cowardice of moral relativism, you can be made to do mental acrobatics to justify almost anything. And it sounds like that's the position they've put themselves in.
He's absolutely right. And at the end of this, there is actually a quote that he uses that that Sherman should know. If he doesn't know, then we're in trouble because he's French. But I knew exactly who he was talking about before he said it. You know, I'm like, that's awesome that he used that. But here,
they made a deal with the devil.
It was a Voltaire quote, wasn't it? Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities.
That's really good. I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
I like that.
But he's right. Let's hear that again.
Who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities.
If they can make you believe absurdities, they can make you, you know, yeah. It's absolutely, that quote by Voltaire is absolutely truthful. Because that's exactly what they do. I mean, look at what they did with the wokies and the white saviors with the BLM. What they do? They went up to open air cafes and stuff like that and tried to force people, held the fist up, say, if you don't say it, we're not going to leave. And they're taking drinks of their fucking, you know, taking their drinks and shit like that and just being stupid assholes. Like with, yeah, man, we can go on that for hours. But this is exactly what we're dealing with. You know, this is modern times. They think that they're actually literally doing something important when they're doing something so detrimental to society. You just can't, you know, the normal average person just cannot fathom how insane this shit is. When we don't speak the same language as them, gives me a perfect excuse not to talk to them anymore. I agree with that in a way, Christina. I really do. I try to have a dialogue with everybody. Really do. That's just kind of my thing. But when you're dialogue, when you walk up to me and say, well, you're being this phobic or that phobic or this ism. You know, you're part of this ism or that ism or whatever else like that. They generally immediately lose the comment. You know, they lose the topic, and I'm not going to fucking bother with it. Simple as that. You know, when they come up, well, you're transphobic or you're racist. Yeah, I hate everybody equally. I'm not racist. I just don't like anybody. None of you motherfuckers. Not even that motherfucker. By the way, you need to adjust your camera because you look like powder on the screen. You were, I don't even know how. So,
it's been so long since I've played with this. I don't even know if I remember how.
Are we talking about your dick? Or are we talking about the remote?
The remote. I play with my dick all the time.
So you at least know how to do that still. Okay, we're good. Yes, we went directly into dick jokes. You guys act like you're shocked. Yeah, here, you know, it just reminds me of early Army, you know. Here you are all equally worthless. But just like I said, the shit that they come up with. Well, there's, you know, what the fuck they call them. You know, first it was misidentifications, and then it was the pronouns, and it's neo pronouns, and then it's this and that, and then micro pronouns, and microaggressions, and this and that. If you are fucking crying about a microaggression, seriously, you bitch. Okay? Things are going to aggravate you. The world is not catered to just you alone. You are not going to get that kind of concession. So either suck it up or fucking go hide yourself, because you're never going to find anything that makes you 100% comfortable. It's just not going to happen. He who labels you negates you. By labeling you, they're trying to shut down conversation. This is true. And I always tell everybody, I will be polite, I will be respectful, we will have a conversation, but if you open that door, I'm kicking that motherfucker off the hinges. Matt is studying that remote.
It's slowly coming back to me how to use this.
I have no idea.
I think I got it.
Well, we'll see which one turns down. And is you white as a motherfucker? But it does. It does get old because anytime you're in a conversation, they immediately are like, well, it's an ism or a phobic. Somehow, ism or phobic. And once they run off with that, that's it. It's done. Game over. You figure it out?
I think.
Because it didn't change.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't look like it's changing at all.
Yeah, no, it's not doing that.
It needs to replace the battery in this, too.
Well, what do you guys think? What do you think about the approach that they have when it comes to their thoughts on how people should be? And hey, did it just change?
Yeah, I'm messing with it.
Yeah, you still white as a motherfucker. I wonder if it's the light behind me shining.
It's probably that light that's probably doing it.
One moment, I'll straighten that thing out. I don't think it is because I'm looking at the screen and it's not really doing anything to you. Well, and just just the thoughts that they think that this is how normal society should react now. That's what bugs me. They think that this is really normalization. Normalizing mental illness is a way to show just how great of a person you are, and you're woke and you're comfortable. No, it's not. You're perpetuating a very much larger problem by doing that. You're telling somebody. I mean, I don't want to go off on a fucking rant. So, if you must.
I don't know, honestly. It's the world we live in now.
Right.
That's what it all boils down to.
I guess I can agree with that. Because you're right. It's the loud minority is what it is. It's the absolute most, especially the fringe ones, are like the smallest percentage of person out there. But for some reason, and this goes across the board here, the government likes to pick those and be like, that's where our next voter base is, so we're gonna cater to them as much as possible. And then you get the bullshit that we're dealing with now, which is going to lead right into one of our other audio bites, which is a bit longer. Because wokeism to me is actually, I'm going to say it, it's a fucking poison. It's a poison. But we got a 3-minute clip from Clay Higgins about military performance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I agree with everything he says.
You now belong to the United States Army. To discuss diversity as if it was ever some sort of ineffective mechanism by which a deadly force could be established to fight and win wars across the world, to liberate the oppressed for generations, is insane. We don't care about anything other than the deadly effectiveness of our Army. It requires discrimination because developing deadly skills in a force of men requires us to recognize distinction, to discriminate between those who can become lethal weapons and those who cannot.
That's why we have support. But I believe even support should be a force in readiness. And in some cases it is. But I agree with everything he's saying so far. I'm sorry to say this, but the military is not for individualism, okay? It is a fighting force. We want people to act in unison to be able to shoot motherfuckers in the face, okay? That is the purpose of a military, for protective purposes. And if we got to go to war, that means you're going to be killing a motherfucker, okay? And it's real hard to do that when everybody's wanting you to cater to their pronouns or letting them wear a dress on the fucking battlefield and do weird shit like that, or you know, the stress cards or anything else like that. This is not how the military works. How are you going to function as a soldier should when you're too busy worrying about microaggressions? Tell me. Matt, you got anything on that? I got to know.
No.
No? Have you seen any of your warrant officers or anything come out of the helicopter wearing a fucking dress?
Nope.
No cross-dressing?
Nope.
No? Nothing like that? No weirdness?
Nope. No weirdness.
Okay. Well, it's the military. There is weirdness there. I'm not going to argue that.
Well, that's true, too.
But it's...
I've seen some shit, but...
It's weirdness in unison, though.
Yes.
You know, like one of the comments, I was talking to a military friend of mine. We were fucking horrible to each other. You know, we were making fun of each other, calling each other, you know, major derogatory names and stuff like that. And they're like, "Do you guys just not like each other?" Like, no, actually, I'd take a bullet for this motherfucker. Well, why are you guys talking like that? That's how we show that we love each other. Really? Like, yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't like him, I wouldn't rip on him.
Right. You can still shoot a pronoun, right? Maybe. I don't know. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Should we hit the button and go some more?
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your color of your skin, your cultural background, your ethnicity, who your mama or your daddy was. Your ass now belongs to the Army, and we're going to make a soldier out of you, or we're going to remove you from this unit. And you go do something else. No problem. The world needs insurance salesmen and everybody else. But if you want to be a soldier, we're going to carve you into what it is to be a soldier. I don't understand why my colleagues can't see the difference between civilian life and military life. Nobody's firing live rounds at us up here. That's not part of our designated job description. But it damn sure is a job description for our soldiers. And we can't fill our ranks in the United States Army right now. You know why? I think you do know why. Because conservative families across America that have a deep lineage of military service are not encouraging their sons and daughters to join the Army because of this crap that our sons and daughters are having to deal with now in the Army.
Yep, and I've actually heard that. I've actually heard that from a man who spent 18 years in the military. He was going to retire in the military, but he was injured severely in a car accident and could not, finish out his the rest of his term, which was weird because it was only 2 years. They wouldn't let him finish. They said, no, you can't do your job that you were entitled for, I'm like, well, that fucking sucks, but it's the military. I wasn't surprised. But he said the same thing. He goes, my son is 15. My daughter's 17. I told them both, do not sign up for the military. Do not sign up for this military. It is not what it means to be. His son wants to follow in his footsteps. The man was infantry. He's like, I don't think I want you to do that. He goes, because chances are you're going to get shot in the ass by some idiot who's a bit too busy crying about his microaggressions. You've hurt his feelings when you walked by and bumped his fucking shoulder, smudged his boot, his shiny boot or something like that, and he's going to shoot you in the ass because of it. He's like, this is becoming a legitimate worry. He's like all this catering to feelings and stuff like that, because that's not going to equate to a force and readiness on a battlefield. That's going to get somebody killed. And I agree with that. Blurring the line between having to kill people and making it a career path has a lot to answer for. This is true. Go ahead.
I was going to say, talking to kind of going off what you were saying. Could you imagine that going on in the battlefield? Somebody having a meltdown, and then it causes the team to falter, and then everybody loses their life.
Yeah, because they're too busy trying to figure out what's wrong with the other.
Mm-hmm.
Are you wounded? No, I'm just, no.
I'm sad.
Yeah. Fucking. What does Christina have for us?
Oh, she says, Klinger syndrome is why when it comes time for the draft, they're going to need to conscript young women too.
True. And at this point, I would rather take a unit of females on the battlefield with me. I'm gonna be honest with you, because some of the men are a little too effeminate for me. I mean, I'm at that point.
Mm-hmm.
48 seconds.
That my colleagues are applauding, like, yay. We need to diversify. They want to diversify it. It was called uniform for a reason. We must be.
Yeah, the diversify thing. Yeah, that's exactly. All the other this is quite literally the truth. I've heard from several militaries around the world, friends in the militaries around the world, that have actually said this. They laugh at the U.S. military now,
mm-hmm.
or at least at the Army. They don't laugh at the Marines, but they laugh at they laugh at the Army and they laugh at the Navy and shit. Because think about it. I mean, you look and you see a man dressed in a woman's uniform, and that's supposed to be the head of our fucking. Yeah. They said this is not tolerable in any other military other than ours.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should go back. I was glad to move forward right up until I thought about it enough. I think we should go back to Do Us Don't Tell.
I do too. I do.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I was proud of it. Proud of it when they said, "Well, we're going to get rid of Do Us Don't Tell." That means you can be openly gay or openly lesbian or whatever else like that and serve. I was like, fantastic. That's good. And then they're like, well, now we're going to let the guys wear dresses and the women, no, nope, go back, reverse, fucking right the ship. 35 seconds.
Be uniformly deadly and effective, rapidly deployed. Well, we care not what the color of the skin is to the soldier next to us, or whether or not he's gay or straight. That has zero to do with the performance of our Army. And yet we are indeed attempting to indoctrinate those very civilian considerations into our military. That's why you can't fill the ranks, because traditional American families know that that's a wrong formula.
Yeah, and meanwhile they're punishing the old guard. Across the board, what they've been doing, they've been taking a shit on anybody who's ever been in the military, and they fucking can't say that they're not, because they've said it before. They've even said that anybody that's been in the military possibly has a problem, so therefore they shouldn't even have firearms.
Yeah.
But one of these days, something's going to happen. Either overseas or maybe even here with the way things are going. And they're going to need the old guard, because the new guard ain't going to do shit. They're going to be calling up the old motherfuckers. And I'm not talking about like our age, 40, 43, 45. I'm talking about they're going to be like, hey, where's that dude that fought in Vietnam? Can he still carry a weapon? Oh, he can't carry a weapon? Can he still walk and run? Yes, he can. Okay, well, he's going to be, the captain of this group now. That's what's going to happen. They're going to need that because they're not going to be able to survive otherwise. You need the guys that can literally stare death in the face and continue to do their job as a soldier should. Not go, oh, I broke a nail, I got dirty, or something, or somebody said something that they called me the wrong pronoun, so I have to throw a tantrum and flail like a fucking toddler. Am I wrong about this though?
No.
I want our guys to live. I mean, the point of war is not to die for your country. It's to make the other bastard die for his. Thank you, fucking George S. Patton, for that.
Yep.
But I'm afraid it's going to be the opposite. I'm afraid that a lot of our guys are going to get killed because of one of these pissants.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that.
Ain't no stress cards on the battlefield, bitch. Sorry. Not going to happen. Try and find a song. I got a couple new songs, but I don't want to play. I got one that I've been waiting, but you know what? I'm just gonna fucking play it. I like it. Before we go to break, though, what do you guys think about this? What are your thoughts on the military doing what they're doing right now? I mean, it started back in the day with us, with Mothers of America, and then it went to stress cards, and now it's yeah. I've seen some fucked up shit. I mean, you know, like we talked about this, like women in the military, when they go to boot camp, say, okay, I want to be infantry, fantastic. Then pass the military qualification for infantry. That's not what they're doing. They're making the guys carry their packs and so stuff like that. They're actually doing this. The Army's saying, well, she can't make it over the obstacle with this gear on, so you're going to carry it for her. No, if she can't pass that fucking obstacle, she does not deserve to be there. Same thing with the guys. If the guys can't pass what it takes to be in that unit, then they shouldn't be in that unit.
Yeah, they don't make it.
But what do you guys think? I hate dead air. Makes me feel all kind of funny. All right, so next week I'm definitely going to get the Jeopardy theme to put on here.
We've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, like 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, Sherman, I got so much for this. Beings, you are French. Sherman says nowadays the military has gone down the drain. That's absolutely true. Remember, you live in a country that said they would capitulate a war before they even get into it. They literally said this. The only guys that are going to fight is the fucking Foreign Legion. What did Christina say?
I'm not getting everything coming through on my side.
Of course you're not.
So I don't know which one you're referring to.
The one under our good friend Sherman that we keep picking on because he's French.
He says he agrees with you. Because I got that, then I got her, and then...
Yeah, he agrees with us. He says nowadays the military's gone down the drain. That's what I just referenced. Well, Christina said they better fix it or we're going to get our asses handed to us. She said butts, but I put asses in there. And I agree with that. It's frightening who is going to be protecting this country at this point. Politicians destroy the army. Absolutely. He says, hey, I'm both French and German. That's an odd combination.
That is an odd combination.
We love you, fucker. So my feelings are mixed. Kind of like your bloodline, dude. Son of a bitch. I just fucking What? It's true. It's true. But then again, so am I. I mean, I'm half native and half German. So there's that. But, well, I sent this song to Matt, and he didn't have the desired effect that I did.
Well, now that I've listened to it with actual speakers instead of on my phone, I actually heard it today picking Gavin up from school, and it was a lot better sounding than...
What did I say, though? What did I say about it?
Oh, I don't remember. Something about pulling off the side of the road. And
I said it made me want to pull over to the side of the road, get out of my car and punch the toddler in the car next to me, drive at 75 miles an hour and play bumper cars, stuff like that. And he's like, oh, shit. Anyhow, we're going to play this. We'll be right back.
It's that rock shit, motherfucker. It's that rock shit, ho. Get up. Rock shit, I'm about to go sweep it up in this bitch. These niggas don't know what's about to hit. I'm pissing them off, I'm flipping the script. Why ain't you keep up when I'm doing my shit? They say I'm a threat because I don't miss. I do what I do, it is what it is. You don't wanna rock, get off of my dick, cause I ain't gon' stop for nobody here. I'm about to go sweep it up in this bitch. These niggas don't know what's about to hit. I'm pissing them off, I'm flipping the script. Why ain't you keep up when I'm doing my shit? They say I'm a threat because I don't miss. I do what I do, it is what it is. You don't wanna rock, get off of my dick, cause I ain't gon' stop for nobody here. This is that rock shit, hard body, rage like a fight club. I'm turning it up, they stay stop. Jeff Hardy, get out the way. Cause niggas not grooving, you not with the waves. So what you gonna do if yours get hit? You talking that shit, so we make a stain. You niggas is lame, I ain't gonna worry about none of that shit you can't keep. You niggas be weak, you really be nothing but quick, cause I come from the triple D. Don't play with a G, you speak on me ill, look out for yourself when it get real. This Unity TX shit gon' fuck up the game, you hate cause we been drilled. I'm about to go stupid up in this bitch, these niggas don't know what's about to hit. I'm pissing them off, I'm flipping the script. Why ain't you keep up when I'm doing my shit? They say I'm a threat because I don't miss. I do what I do, it is what it is. You don't wanna rock, get off of my dick, cause I ain't gon' stop for nobody here. I'm about to go stupid up in this bitch. These niggas don't know what's about to hit. I'm pissing them off, I'm flipping the script. Why ain't you keep up when I'm doing my shit? They say I'm a threat because I don't miss. I do what I do, it is what it is. You don't wanna rock, get off of my dick, cause I ain't gon' stop for nobody here. Hey, I still be the mad boy, say piss, and I'm on a hellway, little bitch. You don't know what's next, sit and watch this when I move in silence. They said that I fell off, I didn't, so watching me go up, I'm getting that swear that I can't win, but listen, ho. I started this shit cause I'm on a mission, I put in the work. Like nothing, my name is constantly getting thrown into the dirt. They won't let me pass, so I come my way, straight kicking the door. So fuck my fucking dick, I know my worth. I'm about to go stupid up in this bitch. These niggas don't know what's about to hit. I'm pissing them off, I'm flipping the script. Why ain't you keep up when I'm doing my shit? They say I'm a threat because I don't miss. I do what I do, it is what it is. You don't wanna rock, get off of my dick, cause I ain't gon' stop for nobody here. I'm about to go stupid up in this bitch. These niggas don't know what's about to hit. I'm pissing them off, I'm flipping the script. Why ain't you keep up when I'm doing my shit? They say I'm a threat because I don't miss. I do what I do, it is what it is. You don't wanna rock, get off of my dick, cause I ain't gon' stop for nobody here. I started this shit cause I'm on a mission, I put in the work. Like nothing, my name is constantly getting thrown into the dirt. They won't let me pass, so I come my way, straight kicking the door. So fuck my fucking dick, I know my worth.
Who are these fucking guys?
The Machine Radio Show.
So hot right now.
Don't chub it up.
Showtime.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
You nigga! What lady?
Oh, they're not stupid. They're not full of shit. They're fucking nuts!
Whatever, dumbass.
This is Two Dicks Donuts.
Hey, fuck you, buddy!
What's the problem here?
Because they can.
They're the baddest shitheads! You know, I love them.
Join the show, motherfucker!
I got to admit, that one's kind of growing on me. The more I listen to it, the funnier it gets. I don't know why. It's because I'm a sick, twisted fuck. But I like it. Let's see here. Our next one is... Okay, so we already know about the gunny banny thingy and Governor Gravy Sweats and all of his posturing and slapping himself on the back and he came out on the news again. It's 1 minute long and it's hilarious. It seriously is. I mean, I wasn't even angry. I was too busy giggling at how stupid this came across. I mean, just wait till you fucking hear this one.
Well, don't miss the headline here. You can't buy an assault weapon or a high-capacity magazine in Illinois today.
Well, you can, because now there's an underground market for them, you dumbass. And it's not for the law-abiding, it's for the criminals that you keep patting on the back and giving, soft kisses of love and encouragement to. We're 8 seconds in. It gets better.
That's the headline. That's the bill that we passed. Now, as to people registering the guns that they already have.
Wait for it.
We've had quite a number of people do that. I know that people...
Quite a number of people do that.
What, 2?
2, yeah. Well, 2%.
2%.
98% of gun owners have told him to go fuck himself. But just wait. It gets better.
I want to say, well, there are 2.4 million FOID card holders.
Actually, it's 2.48 million. Nice count.
2.4 million people do not own assault weapons.
Correct. We already talked about this. We already broke that down for you. You're absolutely correct. But it is the most modern and most normal to own rifle at this time. So let's just say at least 60% or more own one. And because of the way you wrote the bill, you fat, gruey bitch, everybody who has a FOID card, if they own a firearm or not, is automatically have to register something, whether it be a firearm or a piece of equipment or anything. That's guaranteed because your bill is written with a toddler's understanding of firearms. But it gets better. Wait till you hear this next line. This is what's going to make you laugh.
First, they're expensive. Second, it's a fraction of the 2.4 million people.
Hold on. He said they're expensive. He just said that. He said they're expensive. So he doesn't know.
Apparently not.
That you can get a base model AR for about the price that I paid for my sidearm. So there's that. But yeah, he said they're expensive, so not many people own them. Should we tell him? No. See, I had a federal license to deal firearms, to buy and sell firearms. I had the endorsement to actually gunsmith with them as well. And I'll tell you right now, they're not expensive. Okay, actually, they're relatively cheap. They're cheaper than most carry weapons. So they're not expensive, and that's a stupid fucking thing to say. But then again, this guy keeps constantly saying something stupid to try and justify his bullshit. We're 29 seconds in. We got 35 seconds left. You got anything to say on this one? Not yet?
Not yet.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
People who have FOID cards that have an assault weapon, many of them having multiples of them. And third,
hold on. Many of them having multiples of them, but they're not common and they're not cheap. So what's he trying to say here? I mean, he's contradicting the.
Yeah, I was going to say he's kind of backpedaling there.
Yeah, it gets better.
The rules hadn't really been approved until yesterday by the committee in the legislature.
So we had this bill the entire time for over a year, and the rules hadn't even been finalized. And by the way, they're still not finalized. These are the emergency rules still, which also is a very, very bad thing on an astronomical level. Aside from the fact that the bill is completely unconstitutional and written, like I said, with the toddler's understanding of firearms, now they have free reign to do whatever the fuck they want with you. Go look at what the emergency powers was, including the ones that he's trying to give himself now, which I can't tell people what to do with their firearms But if you haven't done the bill, done the Billy thingy, don't do it because there was a deadline, and they said, well, you can still do it after a deadline. But the problem is he wants to give it emergency powers to where he can confiscate those ones that were after the deadline.
Was he fucking taking notes from like Senator Palpatine from Star Wars? I mean, what the fuck? He's trying to make himself emperor.
He's watching the fucking Star Wars. Yeah. 24 seconds.
Now that all of that is said, I actually feel very confident that we're going to have the registration process working the way it should. And again, don't miss the big headline. You can't buy an assault weapon in the state of Illinois. So people who are intent on doing harm to other people and have been able to go do that nearly immediately in the state can't do that anymore.
So
I don't need a fucking firearm to go do harm.
right, but he said nearly immediately. Can you tell me when you can immediately purchase a firearm in the state of Illinois and immediately go out and use it?
You mean after all the hoops and hurdles you have to jump through?
Right.
And then you got to wait so many days?
Right. And he keeps saying that about the assaulty weapon thingy. How many shootings in the state of Illinois have actually been with that particular style of firearm?
Not very many.
Yeah, less than. I think it's like a 32nd of a percent.
Yeah.
So he's wrong about that too, but he's always wrong about everything. He has no fucking clue what he's talking about. He never will. And this jackass, I mean, it's getting worse for him. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people pissed off now, just gun owners. A lot of people are pissed off. 900 C. Oh, yeah, I forgot you're in Canada. 2,300 after extras. That sucks. But then again, you can't really buy one because they'll just seize your bank account because there are cockroaches up there.
Yeah.
But the more this stuff comes out with this bill, and the more this stuff comes out with him, the worse it gets. And then you had, I don't even remember the dude's name. For some reason, I can't remember the dude's name right now, but I actually sent him a letter, and it was just me with smiling, with laughing faces and fucking lols and stuff like that. Because he was on national television saying, I'm the rule of law type of guy. And when he said that, he's talking about how everybody should comply with the bill. It's like, so you're not a rule of law type of guy because it's against the fucking rule of law.
Mm-hmm.
It's against the rule of law. It's against the Constitution. Yeah, so there's that. Yep, Cain killed Abel with a rock. You're correct. Barring's force is waiting until the law first assault weapon in Iraq. But you also have these heads of cabbage that go out there and they're like, well, the Second Amendment was only written at a time when there was muskets. Here's the problem with that. It wasn't just the muskets. There was cannons, including naval cannons and the puckle gun and all this other stuff. But see, the Founding Fathers already knew about technological innovation. They're not stupid. So they wrote it in to where it would be understandable that there would be technological innovation. They wrote the fucking amendment with an Oxford comma, mind you, as a single fucking sentence to make it the easiest way possible for everybody to understand. And then we got people like this. But these same people are the ones like, yeah, well, you should only be able to have a musket then. I'm like, well, that's fine. Next time you have an argument, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go get you some parchment paper and a quill. I want you to write it out in Old English. I want you to put it in a case, mark it, so it's a marked, and give it to a courier, so the carrier's carrying a marked case on horseback. And I said this to a person in California. I said, I'll see you in fucking 3 months when the letter actually shows up. Yeah, I was like, fucking idiot. Like, by the way, it doesn't, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like you can't pick and choose what, the way the amendments work.
Yeah.
Because technically speaking, not answering. Let's see here. But I mean, seriously, that's just the way I see shit. And I don't know how many times we got to talk about this and break it down with him, especially. But it just boggles my mind. It really does.
He's really panning for those votes, aren't he?
Yeah, the problem is he's... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm to the point anymore. I just want to watch the state fucking burn.
And it's probably going to. With Well, did you see that he was begging, and I do mean begging, the governor of Texas to stop sending migrants because it's a political ploy? No. You said you wanted them. See, you chose your own personal capital of Chicago instead of Springfield. You know, we're down here. And you said, well, this is going to be a sanctuary city. And then you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to drag the rest of the fucking state down with them. So, sanctuary state.
Yeah, and they were like, we'll take them.
Yeah.
So, Texas is just abiding by your wishes.
Mm-hmm. And boy, we got some shit on that too. I got, a couple of the audio bites I got down here have to do with what Mayor Beetlejuice with a dick is doing up there in Chicago and the governor. Yeah, I got some more for that too. I know we missed a few comments, so if you would, please.
I'm not sure if I'm getting... Yeah, I know I'm not getting all of them through. Peter says something about as soon as they say I'm confident, they have no idea what they are doing and are reading a script from the office girl.
Yeah, I can see that. The deep state is importing the next army to try and conquer the U.S. to help the invading army. They must disarm the population. Exactly. Because what's happening at the border is exactly that. It is a fucking invasion. And we will be getting into that, but I think we need to take a break and kind of break it up a little bit here. Let's see. What do I want to play now? Already did that and that. Fuck it, I just feel it.
Fucker!
Hey lefties, liberals and progressives, this is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wild. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm going to need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. And we're back. And you know what? Since Barn Explorer brought that up, I want to say something here. I'm going to bring another audio bite up. Everybody should be known by now, especially our friends in Canada, who Jordan Peterson is. And the more the guy talks, the more I seem to fucking like him. It's terrifying that he actually makes sense. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But he... Oh, man, I can't hardly use my arm. My shoulder's all fucked up. Let's see. Yep. It's only 30 seconds long, and it's absolutely worth it. And then I guess we'll discuss from there, and then we'll get into what else Governor Gravy Sweats, the King of California, and the Texas border and everything else like that is going through. We have a ghost in the chat. Like, where did that guy come from?
Which one?
Ben.
Ben?
Where did he come from?
I don't know.
He popped up. We haven't seen him in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Hi,
been
Ben.
quite some time.
But yeah, here's a quote by Peterson, and I like it.
It's very helpful for people to hear that they should make themselves competent and dangerous and take their proper place in the world.
Why dangerous?
Because it's the alternative to being weak, and weak is not good. The people who shoot up the high schools, they're weak.
How is it good to be dangerous?
Because it makes you formidable, and life is a very difficult process. You're not prepared for it unless you have the capacity to be dangerous. Those who have swords and know how to use them but keep them sheathed will inherit the world. That's a way better way of thinking about it.
Now tell me where he's wrong. I tried to. I must have listened to that half a dozen times trying to figure out if he's wrong in any way. He's absolutely not. What have I said on multiple occasions, especially about being a concealed carrier myself and having a sidearm? I don't ever, in my lifetime, ever want to pull that motherfucker out of the holster, let alone actually have to use it. But if it is to be so, it's either me or them. And I'm going to continue to train to make sure that it's not me. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like I tell everybody, I'm the most calm, cool, collected person you'll probably ever meet. But don't think that I am not capable of great violence on you if you wish to harm him, my family, or anybody else. If you walk through that fucking door with malice on your mind, you're going to go out in a body bag. I promise you that. It's not going to be me. But saying that brings me to one of the articles that I wanted to bring up that I didn't get to bring up the last time. Democrats propose bill to neuter militias.
Oh, what the fuck now?
And it's how they word it, but like everything else, you know damn well that this will be misused for other purposes. And that's exactly what it's about. Let me see. And this is what it says. Militias who like to spend their weekends training to overthrow the government could find themselves running afoul of federal law they already are if they're trying to overthrow the government. So, but could find themselves running afoul of federal law under new legislation being proposed in the House and Senate Thursday seeks to curtail paramilitary activity. The Preventing Paramilitary Activities Act, of course, they have to put the word act after it because it is an act, is being introduced by Senator Ed Markey from Massachusetts and James Raskin, both Democrats. Surprised. I mean, are you surprised at all at that comment right there? Because it seems like anything that has to do with fucking over people, it comes from them. But it says the legislation would prohibit publicly patrolling, drilling, or engaging in harmful or deadly paramilitary activities, interfering with or interrupting government proceedings, interfering with someone else exercising their constitutional rights, falsely assuming the role of law enforcement, and training to engage in such behavior. Let me remind you what the militia actually is supposed to be. And by the way, it is in that Second Amendment thing right there, the militia being necessary to, security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So the militia is actually involved in this. But the way they word this is exactly how I expected them to do so. What they want to do is they want to make sure that if you and I, like if the three of us, they said even in small groups, like 3 or 4 people, if we decide to go out and have a good time at a gun range and they decide that that's nefarious, then we get arrested on these charges. Even if we're just standing there just fucking proficiently shooting, having a good time, expending some rounds, which is a pastime for some of us, they would put us in prison for being a paramilitary group. But when it says falsely assuming the role of law enforcement, I know exactly what they're referring to. See, they want people to be able to burn down businesses constantly, and they actually applaud that sort of thing. I mean, look at the Summer of Love. Look at Ferguson. The only reason why a lot of businesses weren't burned down in Ferguson is because people who were helping law enforcement, not hindering them, were standing guard at businesses, keeping the rioters and the looters and the arsonists away. So they want you to stop that. Interfering with someone exercising their constitutional rights. See, they're wanting to make sure that, again, that the protesters, term said loosely, can do whatever the fuck they want without repercussions. That's exactly what they're going for. But let's see here. The lawmakers propose different tiers of criminal penalties depending on whether violations result in injury or property damage. Okay. So most of the stuff that they said above would not do any type of injury or property damage. That would be the people that you're protecting. Right?
Right.
Okay. The bill would establish harsher penalties for repeat offenders and probationary sentences for first-time offenders. It would also create paths to the DOJ and private individuals to seek civil federal lawsuits against paramilitary activity. In other words, they can sue you simply for existing because you're on the wrong side of the spectrum for them. You're right, Brian. There is no law against playing army on their own land, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this law to where, I mean, this is exactly what they want. They want people that are not proficient in their firearms. They want people to be able to just shoot willy-nilly and hit whatever the fucking, this is, oh boy. The legislation comes almost exactly 3 years after January 6th. Of course you knew that would be reference. Which was not a paramilitary activity. It was a bunch of idiots who happened to walk into a fucking building. And we've already talked about this multiple times. We're not going to go over it again. You already know how we feel about it. They're criminals. But let's see. Yeah. when many dress for war. They said this. Let me start this over. This paragraph. The legislation comes almost exactly 3 years after January 6, 2021, when thousands of Trump supporters, many dressed for war. How can you dress for war without weapons? What are we, the fucking human wave? We're doing bonsai attacks now? Because they didn't have any fucking weapons. So how could they do that? Besides, after the bullshit that they've been put through, I don't blame some of them for having body armor.
Yeah.
But let me see here. Where were we at? I'm gonna start it over again just so it makes sense. The legislation comes after exactly 3 years after January 6th, when thousands of Trump supporters, many dressed for war, stormed the U.S. Capitol over conspiracy theories about the presidential election results. Leading the charge were members and leaders of the Oath Keepers, a militia, and Proud Boys, a quasi-paramilitary group often described as far-right street-fighting gang. They're partially correct about that one, I guess, but top brass of those organizations have since been caught seditious conspiracy charges. See, they put the word conspiracy on it because they have nothing else to charge them with. Because they can't actually charge them with sedition because nobody was proven to be seditious, which is why it's a conspiracy. Private military actors such as the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers pose a serious threat to democracy and the rule of law, Senator Markey said in a statement. Not the old guard. The old Oath Keepers were former military, police, and fire who helped law enforcement. Let me say that for you again. Former military, police, and fire, well, and EMS, who helped law enforcement. They did not hinder them. The Proud Boys came up as an answer to your Antifa. You know, the heads of cabbage that ran around just beating people and setting things on fire, including federal buildings and stuff like that. It's funny how you forget that because they're on your side. But Senator Markey said, we must create new prohibitions on their unauthorized activities that it's not unauthorized. If it's on private property, there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it unless they're actually making explosives, then we got a problem. Because we don't, I'm going to be honest with you on that. We don't want another Timothy McVeigh, you know. Then again, we don't want another Charles Whitman either. So I can't really, there's a line. I'll say that. There is a line. The forces of bigotry, hatred, and violent extremism must be stopped for the sake of our democracy. Bigotry, hatred, and violent extremism. You mean like blaming white people for everything, burning down billions of dollars worth of businesses and killing 36 people within a few months? That kind of thing. And it's not a democracy; it's a constitutional republic. You fucking idiot. Democracy is mob rule. As much as you want it to be mob rule and you're trying to make it mob rule, that's not what it is. It is a constitutional republic. Did I miss a few? Holy shit, I did. I missed a lot. Vague words used intentionally so it can be used later to overreach. Exactly, that's what they want to do. There is no way. I said that one. I was fighting to stay in the U.S. I almost had to leave. That fucking sucks. Communism, here it is. Yep, precisely. It's definitely culturally in the Marxist area. Our founding fathers were militia. Exactly. If you train in a floral dress, surely you can't be locked up as a paramilitary organization. Well, I could identify as one, I guess. I can identify as like an angry tree or something like that, maybe. And oh, here we go. The Capitol riot was the culmination of surging anti-government sentiment and paramilitary seen throughout 2020. The year armed paramilitary groups swarmed government buildings to protest COVID-19 restrictions.
Seriously? Where the fuck they pull that out at?
Yeah, armed paramilitary groups. Okay. Where? People stood at their capitals I don't recall them ever walking onto the property armed. Plotted to kidnap Michigan's governor over those restrictions, conducted armed neighborhood patrols in response to racial justice protests. They weren't protests, they were riots. They did armed patrols to deter them from burning down other people's shit. That's your fault. Again, seeing the effect but not the cause. And they killed law enforcement officers. Where? Name one law enforcement officer that was killed by a paramilitary group that was doing such things that they listed. Show me. But it gets better. They finally see some of the effect or some of the cause. They do. They accidentally slip it out. The modern paramilitary movement surged in the 1990s, galvanized by new federal gun laws. Well, gee, I guess taking away people's rights is a bad thing. Okay, let me restart this because it's going to make more sense. I stopped and I got to stop doing that. The modern paramilitary movement surged in the 1990s, galvanized by new federal gun laws and by armed raids on extremist compounds such as Waco and Ruby Ridge. Ruby Ridge, you killed a guy's family over a sawed-off shotgun that possibly could have been in the building. That was a fuck-up. Waco, yeah, you probably should have been here. They were absolutely out of their fucking minds and crazy and were abusing children and such and brainwashing. But you kind of stepped in shit when you did what you did. The movement was waxed and waned in the decades since. Not really. And as the dust settled from the Capitol riot, many asked why these heavily armed organization groups have seemingly been able to operate with impunity for so long. With impunity. When they break the law, they get busted.
Mm-hmm.
When they get busted, they go to jail, right? I mean, isn't that how it works? So how are they operating with impunity? They're being punished when they do wrong. I know how I want to say it, but it's just not going to make sense to some people. They're law-abiding citizens until they're not. Okay? Until they actually do something illegal, they're still just private citizens. Then they have to be put, in the courts and dealt with that way. See, it's innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. Just because somebody identifies as a certain way, I'm going to say identifies because it makes people feel more comfortable and warm and fuzzy inside. That word identifying now. If they identify as being a patriot, now they're considered immediately, regardless of their action, as a problem. I disagree. If they are breaking the law, then they should be held accountable. If they are not breaking law, if they are simply just having a good time in a gun range or doing some prepping or bushcrafting or something like that, then leave them the fuck alone. Until they start manufacturing bombs and stuff like that and become an actual problem, because that's honestly, that's my thoughts on things. My problem with it is you are, how do you even put it? Like I said, we don't want another Timothy McVeigh. We don't want another Charles Whitman. We don't want another, what's that fucking dude's name? The Olympic Park bomber. Which, by the way, the FBI fucking screwed the pooch on that one, too, so that's 3 thus far. Actually 4, because they fucked up the Oklahoma City bombing. They could have stopped it ahead of time. But I'm not here to argue that right now. We don't want those. Okay? But somebody going out and prepping or going out and having a good time with their firearms or being proficient with their firearms is not of my concern. That is their legal right to do so. Now, if they're putting up targets of fucking people like officials and stuff like that, we've got an issue. That's going to be a problem. Okay, that's not, no, don't do that. Don't be an idiot. If you're out there, yeah, just don't be a dumbass. Seriously, there is a fine line between being, just a proficient citizen and being an idiot. Is that the right way to put it?
Yeah.
But go ahead. I mean, we missed a few, right?
Oh, what the hell?
What was that?
Fucking stickers all over the place.
Well, let's see here. Presumption of innocence, exactly. If you voted Trump, you're an extremist, according to Biden. Well, Biden also sniffs children and shakes hands with ghosts, so his opinion of me, it means nothing. We may not want a lot of things. The government will manufacture that thing we don't want for us, pretty much. Ideas so good, they're forced upon you, right? I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and it has never been rescinded. Absolutely, Alan. I can agree with that. But, I mean, like I said, though, the more I read this, the more it reads as if it's going to get used for other purposes. I guarantee you that.
Well, you know what this is attempting to shut down, don't you? So, in your preamble to the Constitution, which is the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It states that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute a new government. That's what they're attempting to shut down because they know they're losing control.
And that's exactly the thing. And I'm not saying, I'm going to say it. Are there extremists out there? Absolutely.
There absolutely are, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. They're all, I mean, I'm not saying there's millions of them or anything like that, but there's definitely a few.
Mm-hmm.
And we're concerned about them too. We're patriots and we're concerned about the extremists. What we're not concerned about is the guy that's standing in his fucking business because there's a riot down the street and everybody's burning his shit down and he has a couple of his friends stand there and protect it. Because he doesn't want his livelihood fucked up. Okay? They're threatening to go into fucking suburbs and shit like that and burn down houses. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think a person's just going to stand there and be like, you know what? The government says it's okay, so go ahead and burn down my shit. Fuck you. You come up to burn my shit down, I'm going to take care of it. And it's my legal right to do so, to protect my property, to protect my life, to protect my family. That I understand. That is what, that is exactly exactly what I stand with. What I don't stand with is a bunch of guys going, hey, we're going to go attack this fucking building with law enforcement officers and civilian personnel inside it and try and set it on fire and try and kill them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that wasn't the paramilitary groups they're talking about. That was Antifa.
Which, in a roundabout way, is a paramilitary group. Because they were all uniform.
But remember, they put Saul in government after the Weather Underground.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be Obama's mentor. Do you remember what he did? He blew up the fucking Capitol. He didn't walk between the velvet ropes and take a shit on Pelosi's desk. He tried to blow the motherfucker up. And he was in government. And you're worried about other people like little these little guys, hold on. The constitutional experts hold. Let me see. But constitutional experts hold that it is not protected after the violent white supremacist rally in Charlottesville. You mean the guys that got busted being in uniform that were found out to be not with the other groups, so to speak? A team with Georgetown Law Institutes for Constitutional Advocacy and Protection sought to examine the legality of the kind of brazen paramilitary activity on display that weekend. They found that all 50 states had some sort of laws on the books, but were rarely enforced. This just keeps going on and on. Well, we got a little bit more. We can make it. We can make it. We can do it. The team led by Mary McCord, former acting assistant attorney general at the Department of Justice's National Security Division, also found that the historical context of militia did not mean a private paramilitary group that was answerable only to themselves, but an armed group that predated the National Guard, was first established in the colonies in the 1600s and was meant to be deployed at the behest of the governor. That is not actually true. She read too far into that and actually added some stuff into that, because what it was they wanted people to be armed and proficient in case the British came back and that they could fight. They could be called up to fight, but they were not at the behest of the governor. They were requested by the government. So nice try, numbnuts. Additionally, McCord told The Trace in an interview 2 years ago, Supreme Court decisions in 1886 and 2008 found that the Second Amendment did not prohibit states from banning private paramilitary groups. That's fine, but you can't stop a group of friends from training together. They can't. Our legislation makes the obvious but essential clarification that these domestic extremists, paramilitary operations are in no way protected by our Constitution, Representative Askin said in a statement. How the proposed legislation is received by hardline conservatives in Congress and by Trump voters will remain to be seen. See, why do they keep saying Trump voters? Why? Because they didn't vote for fucking Biden? See, that's the problem. Where do we say we live? Where do we live? Let's ask him. Where do we say we live? I'll wait because we have a fucking major delay. One person's going to say it, I guarantee it. If they don't say it in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to say it anyway. We live in the gray area, okay? We live in the gray area. We're not Democrat. We're not Republican, okay? We live in the gray area. So when they say, Trump voters, did we vote for Trump the first time around? Yes, we did. You know why? Because we needed a pragmatist, not a politician in office. That didn't make us a fan. That didn't make us a supporter. That didn't make us whatever they want to fucking label us as. We just used our vote. Okay? So you can take the Trump voters bullshit and shove it up your ass. Hardline conservatives. If they're smart, they're going to have an issue with this because it's going to be misconstrued. It's going to be misused. It's going to be like the Patriot Act. There, I said it. It's going to be used like the Patriot Act. But let me finish this off here so we can get done with this and get on to a break and get moved on to the next thing. How the proposed legislation is received by hardline conservatives in Congress and by Trump voters will remain to be seen. Grievances against the federal government, particularly the FBI and DOJ, have continued to mount since 2021. Well, no shit. Amid the slew of indictments against Trump and the massive prosecution effort against Capitol rioters, including people who weren't even there, who just happened to be talking, a recent poll found that a quarter of American voters believe the baseless Fedsurrection conspiracy theory that the FBI instigated the Capitol attack. These grievances and conspiracies have established a false narrative that the Biden administration is hell-bent on persecuting its ideological or political opponents. Because it is. He got that from Obama. Remember what happened to a shit ton of conservatives when Obama got mad at him. Suddenly, the IRS was weaponized and used against him. All right, Matt, what do you got? Because we got a whole bunch of comments in here that I've missed. Just trying to get through this.
Yeah, the problem is, though, is I'm only getting maybe a quarter of them. And I keep closing this out and restarting it, and it's not working for some reason.
Yeah, I had the same issue on one of our lives. Not the fraudulent Bureau of Intimidation. Haha. Right to assembly. Precisely. I don't identify as a paramilitary operator. None of us do. Here we just call it being an American. I'm just an ordnance tester. That's fair. Antifa is just an idea, isn't it? Of course it is, because that's what they say. They say it's an idea, not an organization. Even though that organization has flags and pamphlets and riots constantly. But yeah, you're right. Barn Explorer says, Alan Higgins, amen. We were never officially relieved of our oath and duty. Absolutely not. We were here to protect our own.
You're not relieved of it until you go to Valhalla.
Yep. Send out the brown shirts, the FBI, to get those guns.
Make sure they're wearing their brown pants.
Yeah, that's why they call them brown shirts. It's the same around the world. This is true. If it sounds on the title like it's for the American people, it's actually to attack them. Exactly. No shit. It's not baseless. The bastards did instigate it. Yeah, Epps was a Fed and got a slap on the wrist. Yeah, he did. He did get a slap on the wrist. When the government no longer supports our Constitution, it is our duty as Americans to remove the government in any means necessary. George Washington.
Yep.
Exactly. I like I said, we live in a gray area, though. I believe through peaceful means. Does that at least resonate, make sense at all? I mean, if people don't group up and start taking their rights back, and I don't mean by force, I mean starting, the right way. If you don't start doing that, if you can't come together, and that includes both sides, if you want to do sides, because again, we're in a gray area. If it's both sides, then they need to get together. They need to say we're having enough of this. You're fucking with us too much. We're getting agitated. Leave us alone. You work for us. We don't work for you. We are not your subjects. We got rid of the king in 1776. We don't want another one. How's that?
Yeah. Everything has its time and place.
There is always a diplomatic solution, Christina, but we can't get people organized enough to actually do anything about it. Does that make sense? At all? Yeah, maybe. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like are we close to that point? Yeah, I'd say we're close to that point, but we haven't exhausted everything yet.
No, I truly believe through peaceful means we can actually regain some sanity in the country, but we have to work together to do it. And the problem is they make sure with the mainstream media, with themselves along with the mainstream media, will pit us against each other, so that way we will not work together. House divided against itself cannot stand. That's exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they know it, and they're good at it. Peter says they have to use the word paramilitary to ensure it casts a negative light on whoever they are referencing and makes government actions against the groups become palatable to the general populace. He's absolutely true. And by the way, he's from Australia. Seriously. So just want to point that out to you. Peter is from Australia. But he's absolutely right. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to cast people in the negative light that do anything at all. I mean, even prepping. I mean, if you want to, figuratively speaking, they'd be pointing at the Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm waiting for them to say, you know, the paramilitary wing of the Boy Scouts or some shit, because that's what they're making it sound like. But just like I said at the very beginning of this is something that they're going to use, like the Patriot Act, against average citizens who have done nothing wrong. Now, like I said, again, I'll ram it home again. If they've done something wrong, if they're making fucking, you know, illegal explosives and stockpiling illegal explosives or planning on blowing up a building or harming people or something like that, that is a fucking problem and it needs to be taken care of. Am I wrong?
Mm-mm.
But if they're just training, if they're just prepping, if they're just bushcrafting, that is not a problem.
If they're just fishing with bombs, there's nothing wrong with that.
But that shit works.
It does work.
Hey, I'll be the first to tell you. I won't be the first to tell you. Actually, yes, I will. I had a couple mortars left after 4th of July one year.
Mm-hmm.
We were on my boat. See where I'm going with this, right?
You drop them in the water?
Yeah, the fucking tube was blown, so I couldn't use them around. I'm like, fuck it. Boom. Fish. Dude, it actually works. We had like 3 of them left, so we're like, boom. Fish. We're like, this is awesome. Why can't we do this all the time? And I mean, and they were severe. They were like really low grade ones too. They were just, I mean, they were mortars, but they were still like the little bitty ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it was enough to where, you know, if you were close enough to the shore, it would stun the fish. So
that's awesome.
So we threw it. We had 3 of them. We used all 3 of them, and I think we came up with 1 catfish and like 4 or 5 bluegill, and we ate them shits. But our Constitution is hate speech to them. Exactly. Thanks, man. I was hoping for some sanity there. Okay. Government and their cover media are purely designed to divide the population, make them fight each other, and then step in the forces of savior, which favors their ends of the people losing their rights. That's exactly the truth right there, D-Man. Apathy is the only thing that grows unabated. You're not wrong. Because the men don't want you to have any fun. Well, yes, I'm a redneck. I would like to, make, explodey things occasionally, but for my own purpose of like executing a perfectly good car or removing a tree stump in a spectacular fashion. That's about.
I was getting ready to say to get rid of that pesky mole in the yard.
But that would be the extent of it. I'd be like, I can imagine my neighbors right now. I'm sitting there with a fucking, a stick with a swab at the end of it going like this. What are you doing? None. Getting rid of a groundhog. Really? What are you using? You'll find out.
You'll hear it inside your house.
Why are you pushing that stick? You'll find out. What is that that long green rope right there? You'll find out too. You see me running with this thing and light it, and you see me, put on a motorcycle helmet and jump over a fucking fence and duck for cover. Oh, this is about to go bad. Poof, groundhog. That's the extent of it. I swear, like the worst thing we've ever done was use the airbags to blow up that car.
Mm-hmm.
In which one airbag tried to kill you. But But again, there's a fine line between having fun and doing something really, really stupid that's going to get you busted.
Right.
So I don't suggest doing that. The fish blowing up thing was only one time. Let it go. It's a dead issue. Seriously, we went way the fuck over time on that. Do we have enough time to even get into anything else? Do we want to take a quick break and then get into something else? We already did that. Fuck, we got like 4 audio bites left still. I know we got like a short song we can use or something. We'll just rapid fire go through something. Not it. That one is short. Where's the other one I was looking at? Yeah. Yeah. All right, and we're back, and I guess we're going to rapid fire through this, huh? I wanted to get into the black community being fed up in Chicago about the governor and Lori Lightfoot with a penis. But it's like 5 minutes long and by itself, and then there's Texas border crisis, which is only about a minute long, but it suits the purpose of the black community one. I was going to play it after, but I think we can just play it. Let's see. Yep, Texas border crisis.
What would you tell him?
That he's a traitor. He's an absolute...
He's talking about my Dorcas.
Your what?
My Dorcas.
Your Dorcas?
My Dorcas.
Okay.
You know, the guy supposedly running the border.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute traitor. He lies under oath. He says that the border is secure.
It's not. He took an oath to protect us, and he's not doing it. And it's clearly, I mean, the whole administration is the same way. Even our president, the president of the United States, I call him a traitor too.
How do you feel about them? Texas Governor Abbott signed a law that said they're going to start doing deportations. They're going to detain them, or they'll be in prison for 20 years, or they can just go back to Mexico. How do you feel about the Biden administration now suing the state of Texas and our Texas Department of Public Safety?
It's a proof again. It's proof that he doesn't care. It's just, I mean, it's crazy. Our governor is trying to protect us and take care of us here on our own homeland, but yet our federal government is going to try to keep him from doing it. Treason.
What's the end goal here?
End goal as far as
the Biden administration. Why are they doing this? Why are they allowing this?
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that it's nothing but a vote. Yeah. He claims he's going to give all this stuff, and they're going to praise him, so they're going to vote for him. Yeah. It ain't going to happen.
Wayne King, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it.
And, you know, just to give a brief synopsis of the other audio that I had here, the black community being fed up in Chicago, they said the same thing. They said, listen, you shut down schools so you can house migrants. You're taking away money from us, from people that live here, for people that do not have residence here. You're building homes for them while the rest of us are living in squalor. They spelled it out for them. And not so kindly said, basically, kiss my ass when it comes to Brandon Johnson and Biden. And they said, we the Black Caucus, can't wait for the Democratic National Convention to come to Chicago, because they're going to tell them personally that they will no longer get our vote, because they're alienating people constantly. But like I said, you know, the governor Gravy Sweats, the king of California, said to the governor of Texas, please stop sending them. Please stop sending them. We can't take any more in. But didn't you tell them not long ago? Fine, if you don't want them, we'll take them. And you know what he said? This is what he said. What Governor Gravy Sweats said. We were talking about the ones that have been here illegally for decades, not new ones.
The ones that have been here illegally
for decades.
Why do you want them? They're here illegally.
Right.
Get them the fuck out.
But did you hear what I said? He's like, well, we're a sanctuary for them, but we're not a sanctuary for new ones. No, you said you wanted them all. You said come one, come all.
That, sir, is racist.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know what's bad about it, too, is that I don't remember what state it was, but they had such an influx of immigrants in to the hospital that the hospital had to start turning patients away.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting paid for these immigrants coming in.
Chicago O'Hare Airport. There's videos showing up on the daily about how they're jamming them into the airport, which is supposed to be a secure area. So now you got a bunch of people who broke the law to get here, hanging out in a secure area.
Yeah,
that's awesome. By the way, they're wanting to know what color of Borat mankini you're wearing on underneath your clothes. I kind of told them you were wearing a Borat.
Well, if it's Borat, it's got to be that neon green.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. As much as I fucking hate Sacha Baron Cohen, he's still funny.
Yeah.
Guy's a real piece of shit, though. Remember the National Guard was called to get the immigrants out of Martha's Vineyard? Yeah, sure do. Yeah, Martha's Vineyard. Remember that? They said, "Oh yeah, well, we're a sanctuary for them and everything else like that." And they started showing up. Wait, where are we going to put you guys? We don't want you fucking up our nice yards. We're a homeowners association.
We were just saying that so we can get votes.
Yeah, yeah. This is an HOA. Yeah, what did I used to call them? The golf cart Nazis?
Yeah.
Or the gazebo Gestapo?
The gazebo Gestapo.
Yeah, fuck HOAs. I'll never live in one. I've been to too many to know that they're not a good thing. They're not. Union Station in Chirac is full of them. Yep. Still got to remove your shoes going through O'Hare. Yeah. Yeah, they made me when I flew back with a broken hip. They made me take off my gear, which included my combats and everything else like that to get to the airport. I actually literally told them, I was like, "Do you want to do it for me? Because I can't bend down." They're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Why do you fucking think I'm walking with a limp and on crutches? I can't bend my leg."
I mean, like, what about my trousers? I could be hiding anything down there.
Reach right in the center.
Yep.
Hot red with flames. Your Borat's hot red with flames. So.
Hot red with flames, huh?
That's okay. The worst part is we will probably actually find one and actually put you in it. What? I think it'd be funny as hell. We gotta get Jared a tooth fairy outfit with a pink tutu. I'll come up in an American flag Speedo and you can wear the Borat.
Okay.
And we'll take a photo together. The sad part is this is actually probably will happen.
Yes.
Because remember, we got other videos to do. We still got to do Forgiveness on the Go.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I'm serious. Ho Ho will be in a pink in a tooth fairy uniform with the pink tutu and everything. I will literally be wearing American flag Speedos and a pair of fucking pit vipers. Matt will be rocking the Borat, and that'll be the cover photo for the radio show.
The Borat with some aviators.
Well,
Christina, well, this derailed quickly.
Were you expecting anything else? And I mean, it'd be like he's smuggling a schnauzer. Trust me. I mean, me personally, I'll probably have to stuff something in there to, give me the anaconda look or something. And when somebody asks, it's just
The long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls.
It looks like somebody's Johnson.
What's those lumps in the mankini?
These nuts.
Got him.
You really are crazy.
Not a tube sock, it's a thimble with a rubber band. I try not to expect anything. You two are delightfully derelict. That's the best way to put it, actually. Hey, Christina, would you mind emailing me that? Because I'll probably fucking forget it before I get home. Delightfully derelict. I sense another T-shirt coming. What do you think? Like the like the delicious. You remember the shirt, deliciously something. Do you remember?
Yes.
I'll do that font and put it on the front of the shirt. Delightfully derelict with the Machine Radio Show on the back. Seriously, that's going to happen now. You don't even know what a tube sock is? You've never done the 5-knuckle shuffle? I am not prepared for this. I got to get to the sound bites. I mean, did they not teach you to rock it into a sock?
I highly doubt they fucking taught you to fucking close your eyes and fucking come wherever you want.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
All right, we got to get out of here, guys. We're over time.
I just found that they make a tiger print mankini.
Yes! Totally doing that. Dude, you don't... There's no knees in tube socks? I mean, granted, you know, it's... I mean, I guess it'd be easier with a heel sock. It'd be like kind of like a catcher. You know, spot, pop. It'd stop right there and it'd be... Okay, we got to go. So when are you two joining Tino on a bunker trip? That would be a show to remember. Tino would never be the same, and I'd probably be kicked off of Lost Battlefields, and he would never invite me to anything ever again.
He will be banned.
We would definitely be having to do 2 videos because I would be making dick jokes while we're walking around inside of the fucking tunnel. Actually, I really can be professional, but there would definitely be some outtakes. I would make Tino make outtakes just for that. Like, these are all for me, dude. Christina, I'm sorry, I can't help it. You should have put like a comma or something there because it says you got that right, Peter.
I just saw that. Damn straight.
Oh no, I'm in fucking tears now.
Tallywhacker.
Well, I haven't been told it was the right one, but it is a usable one, I guess. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, damn it, Barney. Did you have to do that? Because you knew I'm going to fucking respond to that. He says, Confucius says, man without pockets feel cocky all day. Yeah, well, Confucius also said, baseball wrong. Man with 4 balls cannot walk. All right, we got to get out of here. We're out of here. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Be sure to, you know, if you haven't done so, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We do have a donation link if you want to help us out with the fuckery. But that being said, we're going to get out of here before we go on a half-hour rant on Cox. We'll see you guys.
You guys have a great week.
We spend our lives left out in the rain as you stand dry behind the window pane. You'll try to understand us, you have no clue. So I took a bat and I broke the glass. You're exclusive but you have no class. Never been first but we're built to last and we're not afraid of you. Born to make you uncomfortable, our hate is unconditional. Coexistence is impossible and we're coming for you. With a black flag coming over the country. Raise a black flag, pledge allegiance to our roots. With a black flag coming demolition crew. You can see on me and I'll be back on you. You spend your life sheltered in the shade. We stood in the ruins as the fires blaze. You tried to dull our shine, but we refused. So I took a knife that you kiss each other. You're the diamond and we're the rust, cooking with your silver spoon. We're cussed again, we're flammable, we're feral motherfucking animals. Our fists are up, we're unstoppable, and we've got it together, yeah. We're the black flag, covering the militia truth. Raise a black flag, declarations to our roots. We're the black flag, covering definition crew. You can see on me, and I'll be black on you. Raise your black flag, it's terrorized. Raise your black flag, no compromise. Raise your black flag, we're under siege. Raise your black flag and stand together with me.
Do you